Last traditional point on the DevConf agenda is always activities in the community, and I already spoke with some of you what you're currently doing, what you're working on, what's important. So everyone is invited to tell about activities in the community, not only from the developer point of view, also from users, institutions that use. I have already some who want to tell something. We start with Jesus. Jesus, I'll come down to you, make it easier. So, what happens? What are you doing?
Well, we are mainly doing LTE right now regarding ILIAS. So I would like to let you know a little bit about the current status of LTI. As it was mentioned before, we take over the maintenance in last year, and now we are finalizing the development of the ILIAS 10 version. Right now, all the test cases are marked as retest, so we need people for retest all the test cases. But I'm happy to say that we will have LTI in ILIAS 10. And I would like to thank the University of the Federal Army and the University of Hanover. They funded we got funded 6 days for this development, which were more than 50 days. So if anyone has some money left somewhere, it would be great, because we made a huge effort for bringing LTI into ILIAS 10. And I'm happy to say that we have managed to reach it. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much for that. We had that survey last year and asked who is using LTI and if you think it's an important feature. So maybe all of you who said, yes, it's an important feature, please keep it. Maybe you have to look in your purse and still have some money for Jesus. So he get a bit refunded for the contribution he already made with his colleagues, with his company, so that we can keep that feature. What I have to say, LTI 1.1 will still be supported, because there's sometimes, let's say, rumors. Well, is it still work? Is it still supported? Officially, one attack says, well, don't use it anymore. But I think a lot of customers still rely on 1.1. And unfortunately, 1.3, I think only the basic implementation is made. So no deep linking yet. So this is another thing that I think we have to tackle with the community, to try to get complete 1.3 compliance, because otherwise I think in 1 or 2 years we get behind our competitors. But thanks again for your efforts. Who's next? Rashid, yeah. Welcome to you.
So, hallo zusammen, Rashid Raber, eCampus Uni Bonn. Ich habe nur einen kurzen Hinweis für euch, und zwar, wir haben heute vieles über APIs gehört, Web Services, Activities. Stichwort, was mir noch gefehlt hat, sind Templates, und zwar die persönlichen Testeinstellungen, die wir gerne erhalten wollen und auch verbessern wollen. Und zwar mit der 11, dass da die Legacy UI mehr oder minder rausfliegt und aufgeräumt wird und auch die an Features oder an sinnvollen Features ergänzt wird. Ingo und ich arbeiten das gerade auf mit Oliver, suchen da auch nach Funding und Mitstreitern. Also falls ihr Interesse habt, könnt ihr uns gerne anschließen. Wir würden aber auch gerne das Thema auch weitertragen und das globaler gestalten, auch im Scrum-Modell zum Beispiel auch mit sinnvollen Einstellungen oder Templates gestalten wollen. Falls ihr da Ideen oder Anregungen habt, könnt ihr gerne auf uns zukommen und uns kontaktieren. Also das ist eine nette, freundliche Runde. Also ihr seid auch herzlich eingeladen, da mitzugestalten oder mitzudiskutieren. Wir befinden uns in einem relativ frühen Zentrum, aber für ILIAS 11 zumindest soll das für die persönlichen Testeinstellungen auch gestaltet werden und durchgesetzt werden. Ja. So viel dazu von mir. Ego, möchtest du noch was ergänzen?
Danke. Ja, ich möchte zu Rashid nur ergänzen, ich fände es jetzt gut, wenn wir da auch wieder anfangen, keine neuen Technical Depths aufzubauen, also wieder Strukturen, die in verschiedenen Objekten unterschiedlich ticken, sondern ich glaube, was erstrebenswert wäre, hier eine breite Lösung zu haben, die verschiedenen komplexen Objekten wie auch Kurs, Gruppe, Übung erlaubt, ihre Standard-Settings abzulegen. Wie man das technisch realisiert, ist eine andere Frage, aber dass wir dann quasi eine saubere Schnittstelle haben, Objekte können dort ihre Standardeinstellungen abrufen, abgeben und dass wir nicht jedes Mal wieder ein eigenes Dorf erfinden, das dann für unterschiedliche Komponenten unterschiedlich arbeitet, sodass wir auch da dann wieder zu einem besser wartbaren Kern kommen.
Thanks to Ingo. Fred has...
Okay, Matthias asked me to say a few words about the EduTech project. You know, it's the project of the ILIAS Society, where Fabian and me are working on a plugin for ILIAS in which you can write and correct long essay exams. So exams where you have long texts that are written and corrected. Currently, we are still working on the version for ILIAS 9, so it's stable, available, but we add new features to it. The next new feature that will become, hopefully in the next month, is that you can do markup in PDF files that are shown to the writers of exams. So if you have, for example, the additional material that is presented to an exam, you can make marks in that text, and that marks are stored on the server. So if you have to switch the computer during an exam, you will get your marks back when the PDF is presented. In parallel, we are working on the version for ILIAS 10. It's a huge refactoring that we are undergoing on that plugin, because we got an order from the University of Freiburg to support partial questions or partial tasks in an exam. And that partial exams, essays can then be corrected by different correctors. So you have one part that is corrected by one corrector and another part that is corrected by another part, and the sum of points are then calculated at the end. So we hope that this version will come out somewhere in the middle of the year, hopefully before summer. And this version will be also the version where we add further and further new features in the next year. Yes, if you want to know more about EduTech, we have scheduled a virtual meeting on April the 11th. So you can go to edutech.de, the main website of the project, and you can register there, and there you find a user group where you can get additional information about the meeting and the scheduled agenda, and also the meeting place for the virtual conference. Thank you.
Thank you, Fred. That's yeah. Just in addition to that? Just because I was because he talked about plugins, so I want to remind all plugin developers, or ask them if you are already working on making your plugins compliant with ILIAS 10. Because let's say if we publish ILIAS 10 in April or May, don't matter, but then the first installations that want to install ILIAS, I'm sure they will ask for the plugin as well. So keep that in mind, that this is something which could be urgent quick. So Stas, what do you want to tell?
Thank you. Regarding user import script, you know, this Excel file that you use to create XML and import user in ILIAS, small announcement, they have been released a new version like a couple months ago, which now finally supports Mac. So for all of you who use Mac, go ahead, it's there, use it. and some other enhancements have been made. Small FAQ and some enhancements. Yeah, would love to have some feedback on these features on Mac. And yeah, go ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, Stas. Thomas, yeah.
Yeah, thank you. I wanted to connect to the last SIG AR we had in last year. There arises the wishes from the community to provide more news about the development, especially for T&I. And I thought I'd share two problems we solved in the last half year. One problem we solved is post-correction for CLOSI tests. We have currently OpenPR running, and this is heavily tested by the folks from Uni Freiburg in ILIAS 8 and ILIAS 9, and we reduce loading times for the correction from one CLOSI test question from 8 minutes down to 3 seconds. And I think this should improve the workflow for post-corrections quite heavily. Special thanks to my colleague Lukas, who worked mostly on this part. Another fix we made and hopefully solved is ghost attempts, which was another point that was very heavily discussed on the last SIG AR. And we think we provided a PR that have been merged today by Stefan, which should solve this problems so that we don't find any ghost attempts in the record anymore.
Yeah, great, thank you. Uwe.
Hallo zusammen. Für MultiVC, das Plugin, das ja auch viel im Einsatz ist, gibt es die Anfrage, Zoom zu unterstützen. Also wer von euch Zoom-Unterstützung gerne hätte, bitte melden. Wir versuchen gerade so ein bisschen so ein Crowdfunding zu machen.
Arbeitest du denn schon an der Version für 10? Kann ich die schon im Mai einsetzen? Okay. Tomke.
Hello, I'm Tomke from the University Hannover, and I'm happy to be here. I have met one colleague, Tunahan, and we are both in a EU alliance. And so I asked Matthias if he knew some other people who are in the EU alliance and want to exchange some information, maybe how they work and what they need from ILIAS. And he can't answer this question. So now I'm standing here. If you are in the EU alliance and want to have an exchange of information, we have an appointment at 29 in April. On 10th, it's online. I like to have to meet you. And yes, that was it. Contact me or Tunahan, and we are happy to hear how far your project is. I assume that you all use ILIAS as one instance.
So that the EU alliance is not only done by Moodle users, but also some. That's a bit a pity that on the European level we are such a tiny community. That's a pity. It's closer here, and then I'm going to.
Hi, I'm Ingmar Smeis from the database, and I want to announce that we are currently working on the implementation of the web push service in ILIAS for push notifications on mostly mobile devices, but like most of you know, it works on all devices or the most devices, and we coming very close to a testing phase now. So if anyone is interested in testing such features and maybe get inspired by the usage or just to take some fear of this very controversial feature, he can contact me or contact Sebastian Starke from the THOWL, who greatly supports this feature, conceptual and financial. So if anybody is interested in push notifications in ILIAS, I think Sebastian want to say something to that too. He can contact me, database, or Sebastian Starke from the THOWL.
Thank you.
Ilario from C Group again. No, we are working on a plugin for a CEO, which means that for a European project, Horizon project, we need to make the website and the ILIAS the same platform, so using the public area of ILIAS. And this requires that search engines will find, the pages in public areas, and so the plugin that we are developing is about this, and it improves the tag title, description, and metadata, uses or changes actually the URL, the permalink of the pages from code mainly to friendly URLs, so the search engines can find them and read them, and also the creation of a sitemap.
Thank you. Some of these improvements for the header would be great to have them in the core as well, because we from the Verein, we financed a while ago that some of the metadata appears again in the header, because it was accidentally removed in ILIAS 6 with the page layout revision. So some of this stuff, I think it's not rocket science, but to get some of these metadata back in the header, and that would be something which you could get into contact with Fabian Schmid, who is responsible for the global screen. Nevertheless, if that improves the search, if this is a kind of search engine optimization, I don't know, because you never know what is the relevant criteria for Google and all these search engines, but just as a hint. Marvin. I'm happy that there are so much, because sometimes it's really a bit difficult to find.
So I already said that yesterday in the small ILIAS NRW meeting, but we're about to have, you all know the problem that you have the go-to URL that you can use in the bottom of ILIAS, and there's the other URL, which is not a permalink. And we always have professors using the wrong link, so it leads to errors. And I was talking to Thibaut from SR Solutions. I don't even know if he's here, but we are having a meeting next week to kick off this new project of starting to maybe have the URL in the URL address bar be the same as also be like a permanent URL. So maybe anyone else is interested in this as well, or wants to join this project, because I think it's going to be a big thing, like a big project. So if anyone is interested, you can talk to me or him. And maybe if you are very spontaneous, we have a meeting next week. So if you want to join this, yes. Thank you.
Yeah, great improvement. And can I tell you, it's not only professors, but also members of this community who do that. Okay. Alexander, have I seen your hand? No. Volker first.
Ja, also Volker Reuschmar von der Uni Münster. Wir produzieren nicht nur besonders lange Examensklausuren, die wir jetzt dann über unser Projekt Edutik auch verwalten können, was ja ganz prima klappt, sondern wir produzieren auch viele lange Texte zum Lernen, Lehrbücher, die wir mit Lernmodulen in ILIAS hineinbewegen und Grundlage sind, also bis zu 600-seitige Word-Dateien. Und das haben wir früher mit ILEX gemacht. ILEX ist leider nicht durch den Tod von Harry Bolt nicht weiter versioniert worden, und deswegen haben wir uns überlegt, dass wir jetzt ein praktisches Tool entwickeln lassen mit Alexander und Alexandra von Lifehouse. Wir nennen das jetzt erstmal, ohne jetzt abschließend den Namen schon festzulegen, also ILIAS Word Importer. Der wird so aussehen, dass wir eine Word-Datei quasi in einem Tool öffnen können und es dafür gesorgt wird, dass man ein ILIAS-Lernmodul von der sehr umfangreichen Datei importieren kann, worin dann sofort die Kapitelstrukturen enthalten sind, Tabellen enthalten sind, sogar vertikal, horizontal verbundene Tabellen werden importiert, Grafiken, die gesamten Absatzformate, die man von Word kennt, wenn man also mit Absatzformaten unter Word arbeitet, mit Einzügen, Zeichenformate, Verlinkungen, all das wird jetzt umgesetzt und ich weiß jetzt nicht, wie weit wir jetzt schon fortgeschritten sind. Ich habe jetzt noch nicht in die Programmierküche letztens wieder reingeguckt, das wird dann Alexandra sein. Also wir haben vor, das im Laufe dieses Jahres zu bewältigen und dann als praktisches Tool zum einfachen Generieren von Lernmodulen, also ILIAS Lernmodulen, dann der Community zur Verfügung zu stellen.
Ja, wir rechnen damit, dass wir eine erste Version zum Testen für Volker haben, Ende Mai. Und was aber man sagen muss, ist, die Word-Formatierungen, die müssen harmonieren mit dem Content-Style, in den man das hinterher umsetzen muss. Also es ist nicht so, dass ich dann ein beliebiges Word dekoriere und dann diese Dekorationen magisch in ILIAS auftauchen, sondern man hat einen Content-Style, der mit den Word-Formatierungen übereinstimmt und das kann dann ineinander übersetzt werden. Das ist vielleicht für alle wichtig zu wissen.
Letztlich ist es aber dasselbe Ergebnis.
Philipp? We still have 3 minutes, so there's another activity in the community at the moment. I think the ILIAS conference, your big activity.
Yes, Matthias asked me if there are any activities except this one at our company, but no, there is only the activity to organize the conference. So, and yeah, we had a very productive and interesting phase of work with the program committee, and Eliesa is here and some others are also here. Bettina from HSU, Maria and Natalie from the Bundesinstitut für Berufsbildung, and where's Lars? I've seen him. Ah, yeah, okay. So we did a lot of work, and the result is we have 60 presentations and 100 speakers on the ILIAS conference this year, which is it a world record? Maybe yes. So it will be a very colorful event, and we have a nice location. And what is important, on this Sunday, the early bird registration will end. So you have to get your tickets until Sunday and to get it a bit cheaper. So, are there any questions? The topics, yeah. We will have 7 main topics, which many of you will have seen the call for participations. We have other topics now in the program than we had in the call for participation. Because, for example, we will have 7 presentations or 8 presentations only on artificial intelligence, great presentations, tools, concepts, programs for ILIAS, and it will be very interesting. We will have a design and a tools section where we only will focus on what kind of tools, new tools do we have for the ILIAS software, and also interesting ideas for design. Many of these ideas you have already seen today, some of them, but there will be some others on the conference as well. And then we have 4 sections which will address only specific target groups. Of course, we have this ILIAS at the universities, which will be called ILIAS in education, but we also have a section which will only address ILIAS in the public service area, ILIAS in der öffentlichen Verwaltung, and we will have an interesting pitch talk session for this area, where we only have ILIAS users from this area of work, and this is what and another one will be a presentation area only for the defense area, and this is not only because of the political circumstances at present, because you all know that we have a specific tradition with ILIAS usage in the defense area with projects in France, in the Netherlands, in Belgium, and in other countries, but also in NATO. So, and I hope that most of them will be on the conference and present their projects and discuss their projects to have, well, a platform for discussing that. Okay, and we will also have a little section ILIAS Corporate. What is the reason behind all of that? We hope that we can show that ILIAS is a very important project in the area of software production, in the area of open source, and we want to address this public area, especially to have a, maybe also to get a little bit of this 1 billion euro that we now have in the in the next 10 years. But the idea behind it is to show that also ILIAS is part of the digital sovereignty that we have to address in Europe, and that it is not a solution just to take the software from the US or from the US tech industries, and that's why this is, well, our idea to present that in the public area. So, you're invited to come to Berlin. And we will have currywurst.
Thank you, Philip. Yeah, so I think that will be the next time we see us in Berlin, hopefully, but the next development conference, because it's the first ILIAS conference without a development conference. So the next development conference, again, like traditionally in September, and this will be, because it's just only the development conference, only not combined with another event like the assembly of members tomorrow, or usually they call it the ILIAS conference. We decided to make it, let's say, 1.5 days. So we start on 10th of September. It's not clear exactly if at 12 o'clock or whenever. And then until the 11th, about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. It takes place at the university in Marburg. They have a great new building there, and I think it would be a very nice place to have the development conference. And so we also will have a social event in the evening of the 10th, so it's not just talking about ILIAS and then go home, but you could stay in Marburg, which is quite a nice place. So this will be the next development conference. But before we have Berlin on the 5th and 6th of June. And yeah, that's for today. Thanks to Thomas and HSPV for having us here. Also, especially for the technicians, thanks very much. It worked everything great. At least the streaming from this room worked, I think, very good. We had about 25 users that followed the conference via Zoom. And we could record all the presentations here, so hope to make them available soon. Yeah, and now good moment to say goodbye, and then we move to the social event. And couple of you will be here also tomorrow for the general meeting of members. So thanks for joining us, for being here, and especially for our guests from Italy and Spain that looked a long way here, came to Duisburg. Yeah, so that's it. Thank you.